Hi everyone, this is Balazs from RacingBrick. Today I have brought you the biggest LEGO idea set ever, the 21356 River Steamboat. The biggest by number of pieces of course, but more on that in a minute. Last year at the LEGO Fan Media Days we had the opportunity to take a closer look at the build and talk to the design team, so I can give you some cool background information about it in the video. The 18 Plus branding fits the theme this time. We can see the elegant and giant steamboat on the front, with a customized logo. On the back we can find the dimensions, another view of the boat and some details, including a sneak peek of the modular design. Let's open the box. The set has 4090 pieces, taking over the first place from the Home Alone set, which had 135 pieces less. The price is €330 or dollars, and it will be available from the 7th of April for Insiders members, which technically means everyone, as registration is quick and free. We have a lot of bags in the box and another white one with even more bags. A total of 32 numbered bags, 2 unnumbered ones with more parts, the loose elements of the hull and the thick envelope. Inside are the instructions and a rather small sticker sheet. In the manual, we first get to know the fan designer, Aaron Hall, and his inspiration for the model. Then we can look at the different decks of the boat, we learn some historical facts about the pedal streamers, and we can read a few words from the Ideas design team. Unfortunately, there are no snippets of information during the build. It would have been great to learn more about the details. Let's start building. Here's the build after the first bag. You can see the wheel that will power one of the main functions. We've added all the big hull elements. You can see the dimensions of the boat now, but hopefully it will be much more stable going forward. Here's a strange anomaly in bag 3. This part here has a visible molding issue. It won't be usable this way. This is not a rare piece. It was introduced 30 years ago and can be found in many sets. I quickly checked my inventory and apparently Dancing Groot has the part. Sorry kid, I need that one now. From what other reviewers have reported, some of them have also had problems with this piece, so it could be a specific production batch that is affected. I don't understand how this wasn't caught by LEGO Quality Control. Luckily, the part is very common on Bricklink. Hopefully not many people will have this problem, but if you need a quick replacement, Bricklink may be faster than LEGO's part service. As you can see, it's a core element of the steering system. It needs the cross-axle to fit and also the 10 gears. The boiler is built into the inside of the hull. In the original fan design, it was on the boiler deck. Here you can see it during building, but it is no longer visible afterwards. We have added more gears for the drive system. We are at the end of bag 4. The floor is covered. All the previously built components will be completely hidden, so make sure everything works down there. That's the rudder assembly that needs to be attached to an 8-tooth gear, and that's how the steering will work. More parts of the drive system have been added. There's already something going on, and with a few more parts we can already see how the engine will work. The first item of the steam engine museum on the boiler deck is not really a steam engine, but a classic Technic piston that can be operated with the gear. Next to it is a sticker with the blueprint, and this is how it goes in place. At the end of bag 8 there is more to see, the James Watt steam engine and the yellow pile, which was the first steam engine described 2000 years ago. There is also a nice kitchen here for the restaurant with lots of equipment. The walls are mostly finished, but as you can see we still have a lot of stuff to cover, which we managed to do by the end of bag 11. The boiler deck is almost complete by now. The addition of all decorative elements is a repetitive process. The first element of the main deck, with the bar and the music stage. The only printed pieces of the set are the nameplates. Amelia is the daughter of the fan designer, by the way. There is even more repetition with the railings, but it's nice to see the car wheel arches above. This is the look at the end of bag 18. The restaurant area will be built in phase 20. The upturned tables look very interesting. You can also see the mace headpiece from the Dungeons & Dragons minifigure series, reused as an ornate lampshade. So, this module is complete and fits here. It slides on this axle. And here's a brand new part that might be especially useful for Technic builders. It's 5 modules long, has a section with friction at one end and a 4 module long frictionless section at the other end. This is how it is assembled and used here in the build. This is the base of the Texas deck, and here is the crew cabin with bunk beds and the bathroom, an essential part of most LEGO sets. Here are the walls finished, then you can see what the core of the smokestacks look like, and here is everything in place, fitted with a single string. Building the railing will never get more interesting, but now it's time to put our assembly on top. We need to find the cross-axle. we have another of the new Technic parts that needs to be slid onto that. Here is the structure of the steering wheel. We add this section, and then steering is possible with the wheel itself or the larger knob at the outside of the wheelhouse. The alignment of the axles is a bit tricky. I think it's better to remove this part, attach it to the top section and then try to put it in place. Now it's time to build the pedal wheel. It is made entirely from Technic parts. This is what the axle and the support looks like, then it goes in place. A few more decorative parts and then we connect the wheel to the drive mechanism and now we can test how it rolls. We added the anchor and the two highly articulated swinging stages. The design may not look complicated at first glance, but there is a lot of thought and engineering behind it. It's operated with a single string. You can use the gears on either side, but there's a small piece here that acts as a lock. Once the stages are lowered, their angle can be changed for boarding, a very clever design. We added a few more decorative elements and the boat is finished. Finally, we built a simple stand on which we can place our boat, and we are done. So, here is our finished build, and I think in this case the amount of parts used is clearly visible because this isn't the biggest idea set for nothing. There's a lot of detail on the outside. You can find interesting sections from all angles. The inspiration for the design came from various steamboats from several continents, mainly from the 19th century. In this form, it is like a renovated historic boat that is now used for tours. The proportions look okay for me. Some say it's too narrow, but this width helps to find a place on the shelf and you will mostly be looking at it from the side anyway. Apart from the brick build details, it has a surprising amount of working features. The designer is an architect by profession, so she focused a lot on the engineering aspect. We have functional steering, as you can see, which is one of the more subtle effects. I think the modularity of the decks is a function in itself. If we remove the individual sections, you can see how the steering is transferred between them using the new Technic piece. On the boiler deck, the actual engine of the boat is visible, which is modeled after an original one. It can either be driven by the wheels on the bottom, or if it is on the stand, we can drive the pedal wheel manually. Some compromises were made in terms of appearance, such as the small Technic panel fairings on the pedal wheel. In reality, these should not be curved but made of wooden planks, but for structural stability, Technic parts were chosen instead of system tiles. Next to the engine is a blueprint of the boat and a warning sign that cautions against sticking your hand into the working engine. The functionality of the stages is also great. Every single Technic pin has a purpose. With or without friction, the system works very well. The build is roughly minifig scale. It could be a bit tight here and there, but it's not a playset for minifigs in the first place. There are several Easter eggs for the fan designer. This picture here in the hallway shows the Rocky Mountains with a small A-frame cabin, which is the favorite place of the fan designer's wife. On the other side, we have the menu and a poster for the band. The name is a reference to the fan designer's son and the date is his wedding anniversary. On the drum set, there is a red cardinal bird, one of the symbols of Illinois, where the fan designer comes from, but it also has a special meaning for his wife. All in all, this is a very impressive build with lots of detail and a surprising amount of features. As you know, I love functional builds, especially when a good balance is found between the look and the functions, and this set really achieves that. I guess I can compare it to the Ecto one, which is my absolute favorite Creator Expert set for the same reasons. It's a brick built car, but has more cool functions than your average Technic set these days. I feel similarly about the River Steamboat. The functions and details make it interesting to build. There are some repetitive sections, but not too many. In the end, we have an impressive display piece, but also lots of working things to show and explore. On the price, surprisingly, despite the piece count, it's not the most expensive idea set. It's not even in the top 3. 330 euros or dollars is certainly a lot, but I think we get a lot for that money. These big idea sets don't have the usual discounts at retailers for some reason. I saw the Dungeons & Dragons set last year at about 20% off, but hopefully this one will drop below 300 euros sooner or later. If you like functions, clever engineering but also aesthetics, you want something to display and have the budget for it, I think this is one of the best sets from the current LEGO portfolio. So folks, please let me know what you think of the set, how you like the looks and the functions. Let's talk about it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications because more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.